If you find that you're always stuck in your head, overthinking, and allowing fearful thoughts to paralyze you in your life, and you've been trying your best to use meditation or affirmations or prayer or some other mental strategy to get out of your head, you got to understand something. You absolutely cannot solve a problem at the level at which the problem was created. In other words, you can't think yourself out of overthinking. So in this video, I'm going to show you 6 powerful ways to get out of your head and back into your body so that you can live your best life. But before we get into that, if you're looking for some clarity or direction in your situation, or just another brother to hold space for you while you allow your own revelations to come through, well, then you know what to do. Book a call with me, your old Uncle E, by clicking the link down below. We'll talk. Great. So yesterday I had 3 calls. 2 out of the 3 calls with the young men that joined me on my Yo Elliott guidance Zooms were struggling with overthinking. In particular, struggling with fearful thoughts of impending doom. And the funny thing about both of these guys is that they were both doing really great. Like, their lives were awesome. One of them was newly married. Another one had a great girlfriend. They both were businessmen and their businesses were doing really well, making lots of great money. One of them was in awesome shape and even did martial arts. But no matter how good their lives were, it seemed like these guys could not get out of their head and they could not silence the incessant negative thoughts. It was totally irrational, absolutely 100% irrational. And when I showed them the mirror of their concerns, they agreed. Well, Elliot, I know, that's why I'm talking to you. It's completely irrational. It makes no sense. And I've been trying my best to stop, but I can't. So there's something that I shared with those guys and something I'm going to share with you. Something that most people really don't understand, because we live in a world where we try to solve all of our problems up here, not remembering, or maybe not even knowing, that there's a tremendous amount of intelligence in here. In fact, I would go on to say that this is the intellect and this is the true intelligence. The intellect is like a calculator, and it can take bits and pieces of things from the outside and put them together and come up with something cool, but it cannot come up with anything new. True intelligence is a sensitivity, and it happens down here. True intelligence is actually creative and creates and can give you a solution out of the blue. How do I know this is true? Well, because who's beating your heart for you? That intelligence. It's keeping you alive without you even thinking about it. Who's digesting your food for you? Who's turning over all the cells in your body for you? Who's growing you? Are you growing yourself? Who's growing your bones? Who's healing your body? Not you, dude. You, right? Which one is us? Well, the whole point is that we get to tap into a reservoir of intelligence that will guide us through and help us break through these irrational fears. But we got to tap into that intelligence first. So we're going to talk about that. Now, a little bit of science for you here, because a lot of this stuff could sound kind of pseudoscience woo-woo, but it turns out it's fucking true. You got something in your brain, body, brain. It's kind of one thing. Before I even go into this thing that I'm going to talk about, just consider that your brain and your body are one thing. Like, for example, where does your brain end? Right? Like, you got the cerebrum up here, right? Cerebellum, cerebrum. You got the head brain. You got the flowering of the gray matter in the head, skull. But does it end there? Like, where does it cut off and then become your body? It doesn't. You got your cerebellum, you got your brain stem, and it shoots down into your body and branches out into your organs and into your muscles and into your fucking fingertips. Even your nails are growing as a result of this brain inside your body. In fact, most of your body is brain. Ain't that crazy? Just like this tree I'm looking at out here that is making beautiful bloomage, but down below, it's got like this network of intelligence that's drawing up all this power from the ground to make it bloom. Your head brain is like the bloom coming from the soil of your body. So Rather than trying to, like, if that tree wasn't blooming the right way, trying to correct the bloom at which the bloom is blooming. Why is it blooming in this weird way? An arborist or someone who understands plants would go to the soil. Same thing with you. Let's get back to overthinking, dude. So, in order to stop the overthinking, we can go to the intelligence in the body that's linked to the brain through the vagus nerve. So in other words, what you do with your body also goes up to the brain. There's efferent and afferent nerves, right? So your brain doesn't just tell your body what to do, but your body tells your brain what to do. And you can tell your brain to shut the fuck up by doing stuff with your body. So I'm gonna give you six simple things that you can do with your body to shut off your brain, at least for a moment, so that you can have some relief and release the intelligence trapped in your body. You'll do more cool things, dude. Check it out. Cool. So number one, first thing that you can do in order to stimulate that intelligence in your body is balance. I was listening to an audiobook about ADHD recently, and they have been making some great breakthroughs in non-medication strategies for healing ADHD or reducing the symptoms. And they talked about the cerebellum and something that is associated with the cerebellum in people with ADHD. And by God, almost every man I speak to on these calls has some form of ADHD or VAST, which is sort of a environmentally induced ADHD, like the world is making us crazy. It kind of screws up our cerebellum or this like a little part of the brain back here that's associated with balance. And if you're wanting to reduce the stimulation in the brain, you can go to the body by standing on one leg, like I'm doing right now. You can't see that. Standing on one leg and tying your shoelaces. Standing on one leg and touching your nose. Standing on one leg and picking up cards. Standing on a wobble board and doing some movements. Closing your eyes and standing on one leg. Anything that requires your body to stimulate the righting and tilting reflexes within immediately forces your, it forces your head brain to shut off. The thoughts can't continue because your body in a way thinks that you're gonna fall. It thinks that you're under the threat of annihilation. And when your body, and of course, like your heart rate's not going up, your adrenaline's not going up, but your nervous system, which is a little bit faster than your hormonal system, takes notice right away, right? Your nervous system takes notice right away, and it's like, whoa, this guy's about to fall. Get out of the head, get back into the body, and fix the situation, right? So anything that requires balance, like I know a lot of dudes, they put this like, I forget what you call it, but like a lot of guys do it. Between two trees, and they put this like this thing, and they walk on it. If you're into that, you can do it, but you could simply do something like a cross crawl, right? Taking the opposite elbow and bring it to the opposite knee, balancing there. Right, stuff like this, just do this. Do that for a little bit and you'll feel a whole lot better. Anything requiring balancing is number one. Number two, which actually happens to be one of my favorite things to do. Number two, which is chanting, dude. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. Singing, chanting, praying. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta tu mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Santa Maria Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc and hora mortis nostrae. Amen. Do that 50 times. Do that 50 times, and you will feel the vagus nerve relax. You'll feel you'll feel your throat relax. You'll feel your heart relax. You'll feel your solar plexus, diaphragm relax. Your mouth and your head will relax. You could chant like I do. I like to chant prayers, or you could simply go humming. Humming's been known to stimulate the vagus nerve. I want to look it up. Ask ChatGPT, right? I mean, immediately getting out of your head. Immediately getting out of your head. That's number two. Make some sort of sound. make sounds, make chants. The sillier they are, in other words, so I chant in Latin because I don't know the words. They're not so perceivable to me right away. So when they are just sounds or they're words from another language, you're not calculating and thinking about it, right? You don't have imagery associated with it, so it helps you get more back into your body. Number three, do something for someone else. Oh boy, when we're overthinking, it's often a form of self-absorption. I'm thinking about what's gonna happen to me. I'm thinking about what I need to do. I'm thinking about I, me. When you start doing something for somebody else, even if it's a simple thing for someone you love, like wash the dishes, right? Clean something up, help an old lady across the street, help someone in some way, but make it fucking physical. Like you gotta go do it, right? Like my wife's love language is cleaning the house. And my wife doesn't struggle with the same excessive thoughts that I do with my ADHD, right? So she's never worried because she's just doing stuff for her family. She loves it. And my dad's the same way too. My dad is always doing something and he never gets caught in his head. I have a tendency to be self-absorbed and I'll get stuck in my head. But I remember, let it go and go help someone do something else, bro. And guess what? You get out of your head. And you're creating goodwill, love, by helping someone else. Boom. Number four is simply breathing. But you might say, Elliot, well, I am breathing, and that's a part of the problem. I'm alive and my brain is going, and so I can't stop thinking. Who's not breathing? Okay, cool. Different kind of breathing, like breathing a different way. For example, breathing like, my brain just shut off. I forgot I was doing this. Time stopped. All right, I'm probably doing that longer than you guys want to stick around. If you clicked off, I understand. It just feels so good. It's called fire breathing. Or breathe through your open mouth with a wide open jaw. You'd be surprised at how much tension we hold in our head and in our jaw. And if you simply open your mouth, it almost feels like, rather than trying to breathe through a straw, which is, breathing through your tight nostrils and throat, it's like opening it up so that you've got a gaping, wide open airway for wind to pass in and through. And you're gonna feel so much more relaxed, dude. Another thing kind of associated with breathing, which is sort of tied to the chanting, is sighing or laughing. A lot of times when I get caught in my head, my wife will know or my kids will know because I'll just start laughing to myself. I'll giggle to myself. Fake laugh, by the way. I will spontaneously laugh or I'll go, oh, right? That kind of happens spontaneous a lot of times with people, but you will bite down on that because you don't want to bother the people around you. But if you allow yourself to be free and just, when you're feeling it or not feeling it or you're stuck in your head, it will relieve you. It'll release it, bro. That's a great way to go. Number 5, dance. Ooh, but a different kind of dance. If you know how to dance, or there's a type of step that you like to do, right? You got your move. Don't do your move. Do anything but your move. In other words, spontaneous movement. Silly dancing, I like to call it. I've made videos about silly dancing on this channel before. You can go look it up, Elliot Hull's Silly Dance. And you'll see me dancing like a silly dude. What you want to do is get your hips moving. Get your hips moving. This is kind of like a silly dance for me right now. Oh boy, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm doing. I'm just doing this. Ooh, ooh. Oh, you hear that? That's my dick slapping against my legs. Whoop! OnlyFans up in here. Whoa, right? Yeah, do the helicopter, buddies. Do the helicopter, right? Right? Get your hips moving. Do something silly. Just move around, right? Moving around. Move around. Put on some music and do something silly. The more silly it is, the better, because if you get stuck in your head about how to dance, it defeats the fucking point. Don't get in your head about how to dance and do the Michael Jackson. Just move, do the helicopter. And number six, which is one that most of y'all know me for. And that's lifting heavy, bro. Lifting heavy, bro. Like today, I'm gonna go do heavy squats. When you put 315, 405 on your back, you ain't thinking about nothing because of all that pressure on your spine, all that pressure on your bones, your nervous system firing all over the fucking place so that you don't annihilate while you sink down and stand up with heavy weights, pick shit up and put it down. You can't be in your head, bro. In fact, I would venture to say that most of y'all, that's what you do in order to relieve the pressure in the skull, bro. Get under some heavy. I'm not talking about, well, you know, all kinds of exercise is good, but for this sake, I'm talking about something that crushes the bones, something that has axial loading, something that causes your whole nervous system to fire up and direct itself in one direction. Fire up and just aim in one direction. Pick this up. You can't be thinking about a whole bunch of other things. You can't be depressed. You can't be overthinking when your nervous system is primed to pick this up. Pick this up. And that's pretty much it. So 6 ways to get out of your head temporarily. It is temporary. You're probably going to revert back to your head. But the more you do these, the more the relief becomes a bit more spontaneous. Rather than having to chant an entire rosary of Ave Marias, you can do 3. The power of the 3 Hail Marys, right? Instead of, you know, having to dance for an hour, you can just do a little silly shake like this. In fact, that's one of the best ways to get out of your head, just doing this. And you get out of your head. Really simple. But for a long-term approach, you're going to have to retrain your what Wilhelm Reich called your orgastic wave. The way you breathe has everything to do with your way you breathe. But we're already 17 minutes in, so that'll be for another video, dudes. Hope that helped. Done.